Hi there. Now that you know a little bit about the concept of layers, we can talk about saving the images under the different file formats and some of the differences. So let's save this first as a PSD file, and then we'll come back and look at that in a second. So I'm going to say save, and I'm going to call this, I'm going to put it under my documents and call it deleteme.psd. We'll say OK, and there I've got it saved. Now let's look at saving this. So I've saved it as a Photoshop image. Now let's save it as, well, let's look at saving it as GIF or JPEG. And those are the two main ones that we might use for saving it for use on the web. So first, if we look at JPEG, let's look at the file size down here. And you notice right now, if I have a quality of 23, my file size is 145K, or I can control the compression. And what compression is it's going to actually lose some of the information. And so it's, we'll still be able to look at the picture and get information from the picture, but it's just throwing some of the information away. Some of the pixel information is being tossed out. So if I use 100% quality, it's almost 1.7 megabytes in size. But that's what JPEGs allows us to do. So JPEGs, we can control the amount of compression. And you notice if I run this quality way down here, we'll start to see artifacts. We're starting to see these squares and things show up. But I can get it all the way down to 70,000 bytes, which is quite small. So let's do some compromise in here in between. Again, some of the artifacts are showing up. But I'm going to save this. So JPEG is good for photos because it does 16.7 million colors. But it's called a lossy compression because it throws away some things. So I'm going to save this, and I already have one out there. I'll replace it. Okay, then let's look at saving it as a GIF. And GIF is the other one we might use on the web. But the problem with GIFs is that they only allow you to have 256 different colors. So the file size, you notice, the compression, it does compression, but it's 1.65 megabytes, so the file size is still pretty big. GIF just does not work very well with photographs because, number one, only has 256 colors, and the compression just doesn't work well with photographs. So the rule of thumb for these two formats for using for the web are GIF is for computer-drawn things. Like if I was drawing something that had these solid reds and solid blues and didn't have a lot of colors, GIF is going to work really well on that. And then for photographs, use JPEG. Because JPEG, we can control the amount of compression, and it supports 16.7 million colors as opposed to this 256 colors. So I'm going to cancel this and then close this one, and then we're going to open this up. Actually, let's go look and compare the two file sizes. So we'll come here and look at my documents. And here's deleteme.jpg is 107K. So for use on the web, this picture would be good. It's pretty small compared to deleteme.psd, which is 18 megabytes. You notice this is, not 10 times bigger. It's over 100 times bigger than this file, the PSD file. But let's look at this now. When we open these up, it's the same image, but if I open deleteme.psd, you notice I have all the layer information. So I can turn layers on and off. I can manipulate layers separately. I can move this around without doing that, without moving the other layers. But now if I open deleteme.jpg, you notice I just have the one layer. And I can't really separate things. I can't say move. No, the layer's locked. I can't move that red blob without moving the rest of the picture. So if I move the red blob, I move the entire picture. So if I save things as JPEGs, what happens is not only do I compress this and throw out some of my color information, I also throw away all my layer information. So let's just talk about a strategy then. What should you do when you're working? Well, always save a Photoshop. Always save a PSD version of your work so you can come back and work on it later. And then if you want to, put these things out on the web, then save a JPEG version. Or if you're going to, send these to somebody, they want to print them, that type of stuff, then you can save it as a JPEG or some other thing that it'll get rid of the layer information, make the file size smaller, and we might do no compression. So we might do a bitmap or a PNG type of thing. But anyway, that's the basics of when you save. Make sure and save. Always save a PSD version. And then for things like the projects, or if we're going to put these on the web, save a JPEG or GIF version. So hopefully, if this is confusing, watch this video a couple times or ask me about it. But we do, you need to understand the different image file types.